All right, it is that time of year when we have to worry about setting up the term weightings for our grades. Within this video, there will be 4 setups: a semester 1 with an EOC, semester 1 without an EOC, and a year-long class with an EOC, and a year-long class without. I will put timestamps on that front tab so you can see where to start. So let's begin by going into our gradebook. And we will come to Settings, Traditional Grade Calculations, and on the S1 level where it says Term Weightings, we'll click the pencil. Now, I already have 3 categories set up here, but you may only have 1 or you may have none. To add categories, you're just going to click the plus sign right here. This first setup we will do as an S1 without an EOC. Your type should be term weighting for all of these categories. And you will see we have a Q1, a Q2, and an exam 1. E1 is the teacher exam. The quarters should be weighted at 0.4, 0.4, and the E1 is 0.2. And you do that in this weight category and click Save. When you come back to the pencil, you can see that all your weightings are going to equal 100%. And that is the term weighting for an S1 class without an EOC. If your class has an EOC that they'll be taking, you're going to come up here and add 1 more category. You will change this to term weighting. And now you will see that the 4th thing is E3. E3 is always the EOC. Now it's important to change your weighting. The E1 and E2 will have different weightings. The E3 is 15% of the overall grade, so it would be 0.15, and the E1 should be 0.05. Let's save and go back in. And you can see again, 40, 40, teacher made 5, and EOC 15.
We need to set up our grades. This video will be about setting up your grades in a full year, single credit, non-EOC class. So this is for one where you will have a Y1 grade. So when you're in your Power Teacher Pro for the class, you come over to the gear for settings, you click traditional grade calculations, and you can see here that nothing is set up for my class. So I'm going to have to set up both my semesters and my Y1. For me, I'm not going to change anything for my quarter grades because they're defaulting to total points, and total points is what I use. If you do percentages, you'll set those up over here with the pencil edit on Q1. But if you just use total points, you can just leave that. So for S1, I'm going to come in here and set it up for term weighting. And I need Q1 at 50%. Then I push the plus over here to add another term, Q2, 50%. So I've got my S1 set up. It tells you up here, S1, as Q1 is half and Q2 is half. And I'm going to save that. Then I'm going to come and I'm going to set up my S2. Again, I'm going to hit the pencil. I'm going to change to term weighting. I am going to make it so that it includes Q3 and Q4, and it's going to be 50-50. S2 is Q3 and Q4 at 50% each. And I'm going to save that. So you can see S2 and S1 now do not have this warning message any longer. The last thing I need to do is set up Y1, And if you don't have an EOC, this is going to be, again, term weighting, but this time it's going to be for S1 and S2, and then also for your E2. And that's going to need to be 40 for S1, 40 for S2, and 20 for your E2. So your Y1 should be 40, 40, 20. But you remember, you also need to go in and set up your semesters, your S1 and your S2, so that they will count the quarter grades evenly. And then hit save, and I am ready to go on that. Except for one thing, because I'm not quite ready to go on that, because I've only done this for one class, that one class that I was working in. So if I go to look at one of my other classes, that one is not set up yet. So I can either go to that other class and set it up manually, just like I did this one, or I can select copy traditional grade calculations, which is up here in this gear. So I can come to copy traditional grade calculations and then select my copy terms to another class. I want to make sure that I'm on this year and that I have the whole year selected, so it'll copy everything and not just one grading period. And then I will select the class that I'm copying from. So I was working in my N5 class, so that's the one that I'm going to select. And then I need to look at what class I want to copy it to. I want to copy it to my 2020-21 class. And then I want to select the sections that I want to copy that grade calculation to. So I only want to copy it to one of these right now. So I'm only going to select one of them. Most people, I'm assuming, are probably going to select multiple of them. But you just select whichever classes you want to copy it to and then hit validate. This will come up here and you just hit copy. And now they are copied. So I was working in N5 and I set that one up. I just copied it to N6. I can see that it has copied something because it's telling me that these are set up now. I don't have that message telling me that they haven't been set up. And because I don't trust anything, I am just going to come in here for my own peace of mind and make sure that's correct. Y1, it's got set up as 40, 40, 20 and 50, 50 for S1. So I can come in and I can make sure that all of that is correct. But that is how you can quickly get that grade set up copied to multiple of your classes. This is a brief refresher on how to set up your grades in a class that is a full year, 1 credit EOC class. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to go into your Power Teacher Pro and go to Settings and Traditional Grade Calculations. When you're in here, you can see that nothing has been set up. So I've got all of these messages telling me that it hasn't been set up. For me, I'm going to leave my quarter grades alone because it says it's defaulting to total points, and that's exactly what I want it to do for my class. If you set up your grades using percentages and category weights, then you can do that with the pencil over here and set up your category percentages. But if you are doing total points for your grades, you do not have to do anything to your Q1 or Q2, Q3, or Q4 grades, your quarter grades. What you do need to set up, and what everybody needs to set up, is their S1, their S2, and their Y1. And this is going to be pretty easy. So your S1, you are going to come to the pencil and you have to choose term weighting. And then we need to add another term because we need to make sure that it includes Q1 and Q2. So over here next to percent, there's a plus button. I'm going to hit the plus, and I am again going to choose term weighting. And now I have Q1 and Q2. I'm going to make sure that both are 50%. And then I am going to hit save because this is semester 1, and I've got Q1 and Q2 both counting equally at 50%. So semester 2, I'm going to come over to the pencil for that, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to choose term weighting, and I'm going to add another term and choose term weighting, and that gave me Q3 and Q4. I'm going to go 50-50 on them. S2, quarter 3, 50%, quarter 4, 50%. So that's good to go, and I'm going to hit save. And you can see as I am doing these, that little box that's telling me that it's not set up is going away. So you know that it's saving and that's working. So I'm going to go here to Y1, and I am going to set that up. This is just the same idea, but we're going to have to change the weights a little bit, and we're going to have to add more sections. So I need term weighting, and it's got to include S1, S2, E2, and E3. Okay, now this is where I have to go and change the weighting now, because by default, it's going to set it up to count everything equally, and that is not what we want. So I need S1 to be 40, S2 to be 40, E2 to be 5, because that's your teacher-made your teacher-made final exam. And E3, your EOC, is going to be 15. So you set it up to where it's 40, 40, 5 for E2, and 15 for E3. And that is how you need to set up your Y1 if you are a full year, 1 credit EOC class. So I'm going to hit save, and now I'm ready to go. The only issue is I've only set this up for 1 class, my the one that I was actually working in. If I scroll down here and I click on one of my other classes, you can see the grades have not been set up for that class, but I could go through and do that manually for each class, or I could just go up here to the gear and choose copy traditional grade calculations. I'm going to copy to another class. I'm going to copy from the one that I just set up, which was English 2, or my N2. And I'm going to copy to all of the terms. So I'm copying all of the terms. I am copying all of the terms to that. And then I am going to choose the other classes that I want to copy that to. And then I'm going to hit validate. And it's going to give me a summary. Hit copy. And then because I don't trust anything, I am going to come in here and I'm going to look at my honors class, and I'm going to look at and make sure S1 40, S2 40, E2 5, E3 15. That's correct. And I can go through and I can check all of these and make sure that they actually copied correctly. But that is how you do it.